What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Driver's Edition. Today, let's get into another hot topic. Many people are asking me, what's the deal with the C8 Z06? Others are asking, are you going to get one? Well, I'm going to make a video coming up real soon about my C8 Z06 challenges and what I plan on doing going forward. But as you saw in the title of this video, the C8 Z06 market is crazy right now, and let's get into that. Okay, here's the real thing. What can I say about the C8 Z06 that hasn't already been said? And truthfully, there isn't much. I mean, we all know it's the last naturally aspirated V8 engine with the most horsepower ever put out, and it's made by Chevy. We know this is the heavily track-focused version of the C8 put out to date, and it does amazing track times. We know there are more versions coming in the future, but with the C8 Z06 having a naturally aspirated flat plane crank engine, it sounds like an American Ferrari, and many people are liking that sound. But what have we realized so far? Well, what's making this C8 Z06 market crazy? And the truth is, we can take a step back, we can go down memory lane. But what I want you to understand, and I said this before, and I even said it last year, and I said it back in 2021. GM is going to struggle putting C8 Z06s on the street. I've been criticized by so many people, and they told me I was 100% wrong, that they're going to mass produce this car. In the first year, they're going to bring out 14 or 16,000 cars. And if you go back to my previous videos, I told you back in 2021, they're going to struggle to put out 6,000 cars the first year. And where are we at so far? Well, based upon the last numbers that was put out, we'll be lucky if we see 2,000 C8 Z06s for the 23 model year. And what does that mean to you? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, and I said this before the first C8 Z06 got delivered. If you happen to get your hands on a 70th anniversary C8 Z06, especially with the Z07 package, is going to be a rare car. Now, I know I was supposed to make a video telling you guys how to spec out the C8 Z06 to have a rare car. Well, I told you guys from Jump Street, the car I expected to be the hidden gem, the car I expected to be worth the money. And I said this back when I came out and spec'd out C8 Z06s and told you they're going to be asking crazy markups for these cars. I told you the car that you can expect to see to get the most markup was the C8 Z06 in the 70th anniversary edition package. Well, as of right now, we're talking about March 3rd, there is less than 170 C8 Z06s in the anniversary edition made. So remember a few years ago, actually last year, when they made that C8R special edition base model Stingray? Well, guess what? The C8 Z06 in the anniversary edition is even more rare than that car, which had a limited production of 1,000 models, and they actually had 1,000 cars built. Well, the C8 Z06 70th anniversary edition, they don't have 200 cars built. And then when you're talking about with the Z07 package, I gotta track this information down again, it's less than 70 cars. I think it might even be like 50. So if you have one, regardless if it's diamond white or black, although white seems to be the predominant color made, this car is going to be rare. If you have a black one in the carbon flash black with the Z07 package, you are sitting on an extremely rare car. So be aware. Now, once you get it past that, I haven't seen too many C8 Z06s made in ceramic matrix gray. Now, I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken, and we all know this, any C8 Z06 made in caffeine is going to be the rarest car out there, because I just don't see anybody really desiring a caffeine C8 Z06. So if you happen to build one of those, congratulations, you have a rare car, and we will see how it stands the test of time. I just don't think that, despite the rareness of the color, it's going to come down to how you spec it out, but I just don't see that car being a really hit anytime soon. Maybe down the line, but as of right now, no. But to get back more on focus, the reason why the C8 Z06 market is going crazy, and we all know, is definitely supply and demand. And this is probably the first time, even going back to COVID with the C8 production, that supply and demand is truly playing a major factor in the C8 market. And when it comes to the C8 Z06, when there's less than 2,000 cars made, the price is just going to keep going up. But now the question that many of you want to know is, well, how do I see this playing out in the future? Well, we're going to go right back to the same previous conversation. There are still no C8 Z06s that I know of, heard of, or seen so far that has actually been built with the engine appearance package. I heard they're supposed to be coming off constraint soon, but to this point right now, there hasn't been one built. So if you look at it from that point of view, I don't see, heading into 2024 model year production, the C8 Z06 quadrupling the amount of production they had this year. They'll be lucky to double it and maybe exceed it. So again, I'm going to state right here, right now, I don't expect to see 6,000 C8 Z06s produced for the 2024 model year. Now that concerns me, and that's where I say now I have to start figuring out what I'm going to do, because all my predictions with me getting my hands on a car was based off there being at least 14,000 cars made, which means 6,000 the first year, 8 to 10,000 for the 2024 production year. And I feel like if those car numbers would have been met, I would have been able to get my hands on a car. Well, if we're not going to cross 5-figure numbers with the car production of the C8 Z06, it's going to continue to be hard to get my hands on one. And I'll just be upfront with you. I'm not looking to pay $50,000 over MSRP for a car. I've had a couple dealerships reach out to me and say $35,000 is the best they can do, because they know I can take the car at $35,000 and still flip the car. But I'll just be truthful with you. If I get a C8 Z06, I'm not looking to unload it. I'm not looking to flip it. It will probably be a car I would keep. But with the way production is going, I think it's going to be a car that's almost impossible to get. And so maybe the 2025, possibly the 2026 model year. But at that point, I may truthfully just go for an E-Ray. And I'll be honest with you, I like what the E-Ray is capable of doing, but I need to figure out if it's actually the right car for me. And why do I say that? Well, I'm saying that because I feel like with everything we know about the E-Ray, if there happen to be some modification, production by Hennessy or Pro Chargers, so forth, which I expect there to be because it's already based off the base C8 platform. But if they can come out with a way to increase the horsepower to say in the 700 to 800 range, then I may just truly pursue the E-Ray and look to modifying that, because I do have outlets where I can get my hands on the E-Ray, especially low on their list, a lot easier than I can a C8 Z06. But we can talk about what my plans are as far as the next major move, if it's going to be Corvette or not, in another video. I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break and ask you guys to hit that like button. Go ahead, hit that like button if you like the content you've seen so far, and join the ICNV Drive Edition community. Subscribe to the channel. Continue to help us grow, but also by joining the community, it's an interactive community. So if you leave a comment below, I will gladly respond. And if there's something you would like to talk about, hit me up on one of my social media platforms. I'll gladly get back to you with an answer. And possibly I'll make a video about the topic and drop it amongst the other videos and content that we have coming your way. So join the ICNV Drive Edition community. But for now, let's get back to this video. But I'm not even going to drag this out. I guess the real question that people are asking me is, why do we believe, or why are people buying these cars? Because they are selling in the mid $200,000 price range, and we're now starting to see them crack $300,000 asking price and higher. And that's crazy to me. But in the grand scheme of things, the C8 Z06 at this point is no longer a Corvette loyalist purchase, at least not on the secondhand market. The secondhand market, like I predicted before, is going over to all the people who have true supercar money and don't want to wait, who never had any intentions of playing around with these lines, these lists, and so forth. People that have disposable income and they're just doing what it says of. They're disposing of it. Is the car worth the money? That's all in the eyes of the beholder. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments from you guys, so please chime in and let me know why you feel like it's not worth the money. But when you look at all the other options on the market right now, and I always have to go back to that, because to me, true value comes in what can you get for that money. And that's always been my thing. So when you're looking at spending $240,000, yes, you can get a Lamborghini. Yes, you can get a more rare car for that type of money. But then again, C8 Z06 production numbers right now are less than Lamborghini Huracans. So when you say a rare car, I feel like for at least the next 3 years, this car is going to be extremely rare. And that's part of the reason why the prices have went up. Another thing you have to be concerned about, or what you have to look at, is the performance output. We've seen it against a Porsche Carrera GT3. We've seen the C8 Z06 against Huracans, Ferraris, whether it's the 458, the 488, or the F8. But we've seen C8 Z06 is up against those cars, and in the quarter mile run is outperforming them. On the track, we've seen the C8 almost run down a Lamborghini. So for the performance and what you're getting from this car compared to what it's going against, it's performing better than the first two entry-level McLarens you can get your hands into, which sell for well more than this car. So on the grand scheme of things, I feel like the value of this car is raising based off what you can buy. And what you can buy may cost more, but give you less performance. And not only does it give you less performance, it comes with less reliability, because at least the C8 Z06, you can get with a warranty. And I know some of you are going to say, most of these cars being flipped right now, the warranty is being voided. I expect that information to change in the future, because what GM has done hasn't worked. It's not stopping the cars from flipping. It's not stopping people from buying aftermarket warranties at a slightly higher price. So the car is still coming with a warranty. And all I can say to you guys is, don't expect some miraculous production increase within the next year. Now, I get it. We're going to have those people that come out and say, oh, look, they only built 2,000 cars or less than 2,000 cars for the 2023 model year. And then for the 2024 model year, they got to 6,000 cars or maybe 7,000 cars. To me, 7,000 is a stretch. But if they get to 6,000 cars, you're going to have people say, oh, well, they double production. That's expected. I'm telling you now, 6,000 C8 Z06s should be the minimum they produce each year. So if they can't get to the minimum number, this car is going to continue to be rare, and it's going to continue to hold value. So should you go out and spend 200 plus thousand for the C8 Z06. If you have the money and the ability to spend it without any consequences, I don't feel like you'll be disappointed. I've driven Ferraris, I've driven the Lambos. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Lamborghini still holds a special place in my heart. I have not been behind the wheel of a C8 Z06 yet, and I say to you yet, because I'm expecting to get behind one sometime within the next 2 to 3 months. I know 2 people that are getting the cars, and I'm looking forward to sharing that experience with you guys, and especially stopping by and seeing the cars firsthand. But until that time comes, we're all on speculation. And based off the information I've shared with you before, from other videos like Haggerty to Amelia to several people that's putting out content with these C8 Z06s, these cars are nowhere near underperforming or being a huge disappointment. Yes, I know you're going to say, oh, it's breaking down and things like that. All I can say to those people is every car has issues. It depends on how you take care of it, but don't hold on to that and don't be the Debbie Downer, because for every car that has an issue, we're seeing at least 30, 40, 50, 60 more cars with none. So I'll still roll those dice any day. But I want to get this point across to you guys is even I will admit when I'm wrong, and I just never thought we'll see C8 Z06s get above $300,000 for a car. Unfortunately, desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess you can say that. And we are seeing this car break the $300,000 price range marker. And I hate to say it, I don't see this stuff coming down anytime soon. Many people keep hollering there is going to be a huge, what's the word should I say, recession. Yes, I hear it all the time on Facebook, Instagram posts. Several people even said it in my comments. And I'll just be honest with you. The truth of the matter, or at least how I see it, is this. If you think there's going to be a true recession, you're not confident in what you do. You see flaws or errors in ways you get your money. In today's economy, there is more jobs than people that's actually willing to fill them. So I'm not really concerned about a recession, because I feel like if it really gets to that point, we will see more people go out and take on multiple jobs to prevent being in a financial strain. At this point right now, I get offered 2-3 jobs. I even have jobs saying they'll work around my other job schedule. And if that happens, which I've thought about once or twice, but if that actually happens, I really won't have time to enjoy myself. So when people say recession, pardon me if I don't completely agree with you, because I see job postings every day. I see positions, I see companies, I see businesses struggling to get employees to come in. So at this point, I don't think the recession is a true concern. You may feel completely different, but at the end of the day, I'm just being upfront and honest with you as I always do. There are more jobs available right now, and as long as there's not enough people to fill these jobs, I don't see a recession nowhere in sight. But that's just my personal opinion. But getting back on topic, the C8 Z06 market is crazy. We're cracking 300,000. When will the ceiling stop? I will come out and say this, and you're going to laugh at me. But other than a 70th anniversary edition car, I don't think the C8 Z06 is going to crack 400,000. Now, before you point it out, I have seen a post, which I think is ridiculous, but there is one C8 listed at $600,000. I can't remember if it's torch red with red interior, or if it's actually a C8 Z06 anniversary edition, which is, I think, one of the first to roll off the line with the C8 Z07 package, but I know it is out there. But other than that vehicle, I think anything crossing 400,000 or even 350 is just crazy right now, but you tell me. But again, ICNV Drives Edition. Just wanted to drop a quick video, let you know my thoughts, because I'm getting asked, why is this market crazy and when will it stop? And I'm just gonna tell you right now, I don't see it stopping until there's at least 14,000 C8 Z06s on the street. And at the production rate that Chevy's going, we're talking 2025 model year. So, ICNV Drive Edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Drive Edition community. If you have any questions just like this one was brought up to me, I'll go ahead and gladly answer it, and I'll possibly make a video depending on how much traction I think will actually generate. But as always, stay safe, stay blessed. I will see you in the street, and I have a lot more content coming your way. Peace.